Well, the TT may be over, but good news from today, the Blu-ray has come available for people to buy, and of course a few days ago the iTunes were also issuing it. But we're down here with Peter Duke at Duke HQ, which is amazing because we're standing here in the archive section, and this is bringing back memories for me as well about all these sort of formats. I mean, you've got an amazing collection here.
It's probably one of the biggest motorsport archives in the world, I think, Paul. It goes, we're particularly strong from the sort of 1980 period onwards, but there are films here, unique films going back right to the 30s and earlier, where we're actually looking after some of the rarest motorsport archive there is. But obviously we've got thousands of tapes here. You know, for years we've recorded on tape, and our producers obviously have used video tape as the main medium. And indeed, you know, tape hasn't gone away, but to consumers, we sell most of our products on disc, and latterly the Blu-ray, which is out today, just in stock for the first time. This obviously is the latest, high definition, super quality sound, etc., and amazing pictures, the best of the TV coverage that may have been seen on high def, but obviously all encapsulated here. And for the first time produced, actually edited here at Duke. For 30 years we've been doing the TT, more than that, and the first time we've actually edited it here.
Is it a big job? Because there's so many cameras now involved in the actual shooting, isn't there?
There's a lot of footage. Obviously, North One do a phenomenal amount of work, you know, with their full kit at the grandstand there. It's a very big investment, you know, by everybody. But we're lucky we can sort of pick and choose all the best bits, if you like. But there is a lot of work. It takes a good 10 days, you know, just to sift through everything before our guys can really get stuck into it. But, you know, we get all the onboard camera tapes, so we sometimes find extra bits in there we can use. This year, for the first time, we have actually used some Manx radio commentary to add a bit of actuality feel, so we mix in and out of Manx radio. It's the first time we've done that. And the other big news really from us this year is we've got a simultaneous release on the iTunes store, which we're very excited about. We did a test with last year's TT, which didn't go out on iTunes until March about this year, so it was 8-9 months after the event. That did quite well, very well in fact. Very good global reach. So this time we're out there, red hot. Apple were keen to get us rolling. So yeah, good few firsts for us.
And the beauty, I suppose, of the digital era is you know exactly in which countries it's being a bigger hit than others, and it's instantaneous, isn't it? You get that feedback.
Absolutely, you can see on the Apple iTunes store, you know, there's a hotspot map, and it'll tell us right down to one person in the Solomon Islands buying a thing like that. I think there's one from the Solomons, certainly for some mad places. You know, we can see right there, drilled down on this global map, and it's color coded. So one of the interesting ones from last year's experience, and we expect similar this year, is a very high proportion of Canadian people. Now, we've always offered DVDs into Canada. We've never had a major distributor there, but the iTunes store has just opened the door internationally to every country on the planet almost. There's 33 different Apple stores that the TT's now on, and different languages, different you know, payment methods, different currencies. But Canada came up almost as big as UK, incredibly, yeah, and bigger than America. So we must have an awful lot of hardcore TT fans, you know, big, you know, bike fans in Canada who must have somehow been starved of the TT, perhaps, but they're buying the iTunes downloads with great gusto.
Well, I've got memories when you used to have that big VHS system everywhere. You had people throwing these things in all the time, and then now we're to DVDs, then with Blu-rays. Do you think the time will come when it won't exist in that format?
We'll discontinue. Well, essentially, of course, what we've got here, and people have seen most of this footage on television in some form or another, in the same way, you know, you might watch hours and hours and hours of Olympics. But, you know, at the end of the day, I mean, I must say, with the Olympics being so special, I quite like this commemorative DVD. So what we sell here is a collectible. It's the sort of coffee table book, if you like, of the TT action. We reach some people who may not have seen the television, as in Canada perhaps, with the DVD and the download. But you know, we sell a collectible. We sell a collectible, and in the same way as books haven't disappeared with the words on the internet, newspapers are still around. Yes, some people are I think some of our younger clients, you know, there's a generation growing up who maybe never bought a disc in their lives. We have to accept that, don't we? We've probably got people in our extended families, you know, who, what are these disc things? You know, I do everything on the phone or the iPad or whatever. Well, now obviously we can deliver that digital product. And then at the other side of it, there's people maybe working on oil rigs or travelling. You can take the download on your iPad and watch it on the plane. So the digital format is incremental, really. We haven't seen a particular fall off in DVD sales in the last year or two as we've introduced digital. So we're fairly optimistic that the discs will be around a bit longer, and most of the industry is saying the same thing, that with films people are still buying, they watch them in the cinema and then they go and buy the disc. You know.
I was going to say, it's almost like you could buy one of those now for Christmas for somebody, but that may be slightly early. But there is that thing that people might want to buy them and send them away to friends and relatives. Yeah,
absolutely. You know, our busiest period of the year, and this place absolutely is, you know, buzzing. Obviously, in December we do 35% of our entire business in sort of about 6 weeks before Christmas. So to consumers, so that's a very busy time. Gift, yes, the DVD is a great gift, and we're never going to get away from that.
Okay. Well, before we finish, I have to give a slight plug to the history of the Manx cat. Do you remember that show we made?
Yes.
I kind of got involved with that years ago.
Fine production, the only and definitive documentary about the Manx cat.
Still available.
A very good commentator on that.
Yeah.